Digital transformation. Y'all, it's a boring conversation. I'm just gonna say it right now. This term has been in use for several years now. Digital transformation. Is your company digitally transforming? What we found is that the answer is they're trying. You're trying, and we get it. Digital transformation is what we all know we have to do, but what does it mean? How does it work? What does it take to digitally transform an organization? First off, it is my assumption that if you're a company in 2022 or whenever you're watching this video, you're using technology, right? You're sending emails, you're texting your staff, you're using some chat platform, you probably have Microsoft Excel or Google Docs or something that's helping you get your work done. But the question is, are you really taking advantage of a full opportunity of digital transformation? Now, I'm not gonna lie, I went out to just like check out on YouTube what are other options or what are people talking about with digital transformation, and it is boring, y'all. It's just like, watching paint dry on the wall, hearing people go through the acronyms that describe what digital transformation is. And so my goal here, maybe in this video and in future videos, is to help you think about digital transformation as something that could potentially be exciting. Something that could be really a huge opportunity for your organization, for your team, for your future self. But first off, I wanted to take this first conversation around digital transformation and say, like, what are some of the areas that digital transformation can touch inside of your organization? Short and long of it, it can touch every piece of your organization. But let's break that down. I think there are 4 core areas that digital transformation can actually be massively introduced to your company, either through purchasing a product. Now that might actually be you acquiring another organization. It might mean you buying into a license of an existing tool. It might mean you building your own tool. Or it might mean you renting or subscribing to a SaaS product or a platform as a service product, something that already exists in the market that you can apply and use as an organization. All those are true when you start thinking about digital transformation. But I want to unpack real quick 4 areas that I think that it's going to apply in how your company, depending on what you do, can think about ways of transforming your organization with these 4 areas of digital transformation. Area number 1, people. So what I mean by people is that when you think about digital transformation, really what you're talking about is how do you serve your employees, your current customers, and find more customers in the future. And actually a 4th area, probably like vendors or your supply chain. How do you serve those people well? But with digital transformation, really you need to be focused on how do you think about the way that your teams are set up inside of your organization, the way that you approach getting work done, and who's going to be a part of supporting the technology that you're using. Now, there also are tools to help unlock people doing their best work. So I already mentioned a few of them, like Google Docs is great. Email or a communications platform like Slack or Microsoft Teams. These are all tools that you can introduce to your organization to think about how can our people have better communication? How can our people work in a hybrid work environment where some of them are on premise, some of them are remote, some of them are worldwide, but now we have tools that allow us to communicate. And then finally, culture. So how do you think about the fact that technology becomes a part of who you are as an organization? Now, I want to be careful because some people get really weirded out by that idea that technology is changing our culture. But if anyone spent 5 minutes on the internet, we know that technology is changing our culture at large, and that's still going to be true inside of our organizations as well. So as you think about implementing pieces of technology inside your orgs, inside your teams, the question is how will it affect your organization? So if you put a Slack in place, how do you think about the channels that you're going to use and why they exist? How transparent are you communicating? Or how do you keep information shared or siloed from each other? So this is all about different ways of working as you evolve and adapt into this future that's coming at you super fast, and you need to be ready to transform digitally. Okay, so people, culture, that's number 1. Number two, and this plays a little bit into people, process transformation. The question is what are processes that you have going on right now that can actually change digitally? What I mean by that is, let's take, for example, and this is a few years ago, but Domino's Pizza is a perfect example. Okay, I grew up in a small town in Kansas, and Domino's Pizza was, no joke, the place where you went to get like pizza that tasted the exact same as the box it came in. So if I would have eaten the cardboard, I wouldn't know that I was not eating the pizza. But Domino's did a radical transformation, not only of their recipe and the way they approach making their pizzas, but also of their process in which the people can order online, that they can show people where their order is at in the process of it getting delivered, that they can even track those orders getting to their house. And then Domino's has gone on to even try things like delivery drones or autonomous vehicles. This is all a transformation of process. What's true for Domino's Pizza is that they still make and deliver pizza. That hasn't changed. But they used technology, new processes to digitally transform the organization as a whole and bring value to their customers, which got them more customers, but it also got them more loyal customers, the people that were already buying their pizza. So that's a great example of a process change. So that can be, again, adopting technology that's going to help to transfer your process to help you offer more value to your customers or acquire a new customer base. Number three, business model. So how does an organization digitally transform their business model? So again, most organizations, when they get started, they have a product market fit, right? They have a product or service that they're offering to a customer base. And if that customer base starts to buy and tell their friends and that grows and they find a market share, well, they have a business model. Now, lots of people like to write these in large documents and try to think about what they could be. But oftentimes we find that those change over time. So a perfect example of this is Netflix. Netflix, when it first started, if anybody remembers back that long, I assume some of you will have been alive when you used to get the DVDs. That was a little disc that you put in a player and it slid in. I don't even have a way to do that anymore. They used to mail those out because they were replacing the traditional video rental store. That was pretty transformation and disruptive already, and there was some technology built into that because you could choose the video online that you wanted to receive and actually see that come through. But where they continue to digitally transform was they decided to adopt a new model of online streaming. As bandwidth went up on the internet, as video consumption went up on the internet, they saw a huge opportunity to continue to innovate digitally to the company we now know them as one of the world's top streaming services. This is a digital transformation, right? They still work in the movie business, they still provide rental of videos, but they do it now in a digitally transformed way. So the question is, as us as organizations, we start to ask the question, how might we look at the service that we're providing now and think about how can the thing that we're either doing manually or through manufacturing or through traditional processes be digitally enhanced, automated, supplied to our customers, value increased in some way so that we can offer a more digitally enhanced value prop. That's where the business model changes over the time, even if the company's core value, core purpose doesn't change. Number four is domain. So we already talked about the business model transformation, but what happens when an organization literally changes the thing they're offering altogether? I'm gonna go to the behemoth in the room, Amazon. Okay, so Amazon's a great example of an organization that went from selling books on a very crappy website. I don't even think I remember going to the first Amazon. Do you remember the first Amazon?
Do not know.
Okay, it wasn't great, but they found product market fit. Where they transformed as they started to look at how to digitally offer platforms for people to sell products of any type, competing with companies like eBay or listing sites, where now they can say, we can find inventory, we can sell that inventory, we can allow people to sell their products on here. They created reseller platforms. So Amazon is a fantastic organization that shows that transforming your domain over time allows you to go from being a book sale, like a bookstore, to being the largest retailer in the world of all products, right? And now they're even one of the largest distributors logistically of all products, the largest warehouse provider of all products, right? You can see how their domain knowledge is expanded and transformed using technology as the base. So they could do the traditional way of setting up a warehouse, but instead they used robotics and dynamic inventory management, all ways to digitally transform not only their own business, but entire market for how work should be done in retail. So these 4 areas, these are 4 common pillars that we see across digital transformation, and most of our clients fit into one of these. So the types of software that Crema's built, hiring software for people, right? How do you find the right people that fit the right need or the right job? People management software for making sure that the people that you have are being supported and have great workflow management and can make sure they're getting their job done well. We've built security software so people that are providing new services can make sure that the digital solution that now that they're enhancing is being kept secure, and lots of others. So almost all of our software, being that we build mostly B2B software, actually ends up fitting in one of these categories. But let's say you don't end up building something custom, you can go out to the marketplace and find a SaaS tool that does 99% of everything that I just described there. It may not be a perfect fit for what you need, but it can be a great way to get started in digital transformation. Now, if you want to be the company that actually transforms your industry, that transforms your space, then oftentimes custom technology is the way to get that done rather than buying something off the shelf. We'd love to talk to you about that. So if that's something that Crema can help you build, that's what we do. We help explore opportunities, design and prototype those ideas, and actually build them into real solutions. And we'd love to help explore that with you. As always, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, like our videos, and share them with your friends. And we'll see you next time.